Well, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about MicroStrategy today. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into it, everybody. Let's get going. Very big day. Very, very big day. I did go heavy into MSTR today, and that's probably why it pumped. No, I'm probably not the reason why it pumped, but I did get in. I bought my first little bit. Was it on Monday or Tuesday? It had to have been. It was either Monday or Tuesday. I bought my first little bit down here, but it was just a little bit, right? The money took a second to get cleared. It's finally cleared, so I went in heavy today. Unfortunately, I got in down here at my first little bit. I would have gone all in down here. I really would have, but money took a little while to get cleared. It got cleared here, and it just is what it is. And the thing is, that right there should answer a question I'm sure a lot of people are asking with MicroStrategy. Is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to add, or should we sell here? Well, I bought here. I literally bought here, so probably it's a good time to sell. Probably. The price probably does correct. Every time I buy in situations like this, and I normally try not to buy in situations like this, but every time I do buy in situations like this, I tell myself the possible downside, right? You've got higher lows here. Maybe you go right down to about 326. Previous areas of support right here. Previous areas of support right here. Maybe you go right down to about 326. Current areas of support on this trend line, it all lines up, so very possible. Also, if we take a relative high, a low here to a relative high, 326, pretty close to 324. That's the golden ratio there at the 618. So it's possible, and still a higher low overall. I don't know if it happens. I'm just saying I'm prepared for it if it happens, right? That's if you buy here and you think, oh, it's only going to do this, then if this happens, you're going to shit yourself. You're going to panic sell, and then it goes up, right? It's okay. I've said this a couple times tonight. It's okay to buy the high. It's not ideal. It's okay to buy the high. It's not okay to buy the high and sell the low. You buy the high, it goes low, you buy the low too, or you just hold the low and then you sell the high. You can buy the high and sell the high. You don't need to buy the high and sell the low. It's okay to buy the high. It's not okay to complete the cycle. So if your question is it a good time to buy at these prices? My answer is it depends on who you are, right? For me, yes, because I'm aware of the possibilities it could go down. I'm not going to be shaken by it if it happens, right? I had a very real conversation with myself. So you bet you're sweet. You know what? If we go down here, that I'm going to be like, damn it, I wish I bought down here. I bought at a horrible time. I should have just been patient. You best believe I will be thinking those thoughts. But I'm not going to be thinking, damn it, this is a horrible thing. What am I doing? I should sell and just take my money now. I screwed up. I'm not going to panic like that, right? Because you'll recognize it more as what it is, the area that is appropriate to buy. But we might not go down there, and here's why. I'm talking about that so much, and if you guys haven't caught on by now to how I do things, how I speak, I normally say what I don't think is going to happen first, and I give all the explanations into how it could happen before I get into what I actually think is going to happen, right? Because I want all the information to be out there, right? I don't want people to just think, oh, it's just upside. I want you to be aware of the downside risks too, because there is value in being just being aware of the downside risks. The value is that it makes you more prepared. It makes you less likely to be paper hands, flopping in whatever direction the wind is blowing, right? From a low point here, finding support. From a high point here, finding resistance, right? And then here finding resistance as well. We've gapped up, broken up above this line, and I think it is a significant level. I really do think it's a significant level to break, likely just based off of simple fundamental analysis of candlestick charts. Price action itself, likely you're moving up to 445 nonstop, right? You're at 396, you're going to move up to 445 nonstop is what I would expect out of this. However, again, you never know if you could pull back. You never know. Maybe you don't pull back as low as I thought. Maybe you only pull back to this line, but anything is possible, right? We do not need to fill this gap. There is a gap there. You don't need to fill it. But sometimes we do, right? From a low here, you opened up all the way here. You kind of filled that gap. This gap never got filled, and we just kept moving up. This gap kind of got filled here a few days later. That gap never got filled, and we just kept moving up, right? There's plenty of gaps that don't get filled. This gap here got filled much later, but it still kept going up immediately, right? Maybe we fill this gap at a later date, but I would think that we do go up not just next week, but to close the month, right? But if Trump, and a lot of people I think are hanging on the inauguration, okay? And maybe I want to get onto that in a second, actually. Let's finish with this price action theory here real quick. Hold on. From a high to a low, 382, 236, up above your 382. There's no doubt in my head, based off the fibs alone, that your next area that you're going to is at least 444 to 424. If you go lower, the lowest I'd give you to go from here, that would make the most sense would be the 382. So maybe you go back to like 360. 365, that'd be the lowest I give you, and then right on up, right? And the only way I could see you hitting 365 would be on Inauguration Day, Trump announces he's not going to have I shouldn't even say that. He does not announce that we're going to have a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the United States. Maybe he plans on doing it. Maybe he doesn't, right? That's the rumor right now. That's what he said he was going to do. First day executive order. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. A lot of people, I think, would be crushed if he didn't, but I don't think it would actually matter too much, right? It's ideal. Obviously, if we have a Bitcoin strategic reserve on day one of his candidacy, obviously, that would be very, very bullish for the markets. We'd probably see some miraculous price growth, right? We would do crazy, crazy things. But if we didn't get the strategic reserve, a lot of people are hanging on to this too much, man. It doesn't matter that much. Bitcoin, crypto, MicroStrategy, they're all going to go up with or without government money, right? And I said this in one of my videos recently. I'm going to say it again. We don't need the government's money in crypto. Crypto's the better money. It's better than the government's money. We don't need the government's money. We don't need their spending. It'll excel things, but it's inevitable what Bitcoin's going to do. It's inevitable then what MicroStrategy is going to do. It's inevitable. We don't need it. And whenever people realize that, if Trump on day one does not announce that there's going to be a Bitcoin strategic reserve, he doesn't sign an executive order like he said he would, people are going to realize that, oh, that was just day one. We still have 4 years where he could announce that and plan something. And, oh, maybe it's better that he didn't do it right now. Maybe it's better that he waits. Maybe it's better, because then theoretically Bitcoin might be at higher prices. Then theoretically the United States is more pressured to buy this strategic reserve because they're seeing their missed opportunity. Then maybe theoretically they're buying at higher prices, securing price levels at higher prices where the United States bought. And you guys, there's a floor of MicroStrategy, right, where their average buy is, right? It's at like $69,000 or $70,000. It might be higher now of where they bought Bitcoin, right? We're not going to go. That floor is set. If we get anywhere near it, we haven't gotten anywhere near it, right? There's a reason for it. We haven't gotten anywhere near it. The largest institution that buys Bitcoin in the world, their floor is basically at 69, 75K, somewhere in there, and we're nowhere near it for a reason. What happens when one of the largest economic powers in the world? I wanted to say the largest, but I don't know if it is the largest. We might be the largest. I'm not 100% sure, but one of the largest economic powerhouses in the world, if not the largest, starts to dip their toes in. But instead of it being I want to get on a Bitcoin chart here, BTC. Instead of it being at these prices at 100 and why can't I need to put it on a monthly basis here. At 103K, what if those prices that the United States got in was at 130K? What if they're at higher prices? That just moves that floor up higher. It's less ideal for the USA. It's less ideal for the strategic reserve loans, or not reserve loans, strategic reserve for Bitcoin, but it's better for the people who've been in crypto longer, right? It would be better, and here's where I'm going to tie it all together. It would actually be better in the long term if Trump did not announce that there was a strategic reserve on day one. It would be better in the long term if Trump did not announce that there was a strategic Bitcoin reserve in day one. But everyone's going to get it wrong. They're going to think it's bad. They're going to think it's a bearish thing. And that's why I'm spending so much time focusing on that, is that if it happens, if it doesn't happen, I should say, do not panic. Please don't panic. We're going to go up with or without the Bitcoin reserve. I promise you. We're going to go up. It's inevitable. And I don't ever say I promise without going actually, I can't promise because I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have a crystal ball. And obviously that's true. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a financial advisor. But I can promise you that over time, it's inevitable. Bitcoin will outpace the dollar. It always has. It always will. It's mathematical. We're going to put the big face on for a second and go on pause. It's mathematical. The dollar has an infinitesimal, unlimited amount of supply that it can pump every single year. It's not a fixed inflation rate either. Bitcoin has a fixed inflation rate. And then once it hits its last coin, 21 million, it's stationary. It's not deflationary. It's not inflationary, but the dollar always will be inflationary. So I promise you, Bitcoin will only go up over time. It's inevitable. It will only go up over time. So we don't need the strategic reserve, right? And when people remember that, whenever people get that shakeout fear, if we don't get the strategic reserve on the first day, he doesn't announce anything about it. He doesn't say anything negative about crypto either. People are going to get shaken out, and they're going to remember, oh wait, this is Bitcoin, this is crypto. It's going to go up with or without because it's better than the dollar to begin with. It's the next evolution in currency. And then people are also going to remember, oh wait, with or without this EO at the first day, this is still the most crypto-friendly administration we've ever seen, and it's going to be good for crypto even without the executive order. So who cares? We care about it so much right now. It's this theory. Maybe it comes true, maybe it doesn't, but I hope it does. I hope we do get the strategic reserve. I'm just talking about it so much because I want people to be prepared in case it doesn't happen. And what the benefit is of the markets being closed on Monday is we do have like one day. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but to sleep on things does give people a little bit of time to be rational, right? The day that quote unquote negatively received news, which may or may not happen, comes out, the day that comes out, that could cause a lot of induced panic selling or buying, right? And we might see that in the crypto markets because they run 24/7. But what we also might see before Tuesday, before the open, is that the panic selling is done and that there's some recovery being had. And then there's some rationale coming back into the markets to everything that I was just saying about how we have the most crypto-friendly administration that's ever existed. This is going to be more bullish in the long term. It would actually be more bullish for crypto if the United States had to buy Bitcoin. If they didn't announce their strategic reserve here and they announced it at a higher price, that would actually be more bullish for crypto for so many reasons, man. But the most obvious being that that's the floor. They have a vested interest in it now. The price won't ever go below there again, right? Does it make sense? When the United States gets in at a price, that price will never, for Bitcoin, it's never going to go lower than that. Why? Why won't it go lower than that? Because we got a money printer. We can print out as much money as we want and make our value more valuable, right? Like we can do that at the cost of devaluing the dollar, but we've been doing that for over a century. So like whatever, and Bitcoin's the next evolution of money. But I don't know, man. I'm rambling. I'm ranting. This is less TA and more of just me talking, I guess. But I think that we are going to move up. All that to say, daily RSI looks phenomenal. Everything about this chart looks phenomenal. And the only thing that could throw it off is just negatively received news on the inauguration. But even then, we have one day to think it over. It might not be that big of an impact. Even still, the worst that I'd give you is something around like 320, 325, 330, something like that as your low. I don't think that you go lower than these low. I don't think that it's going to be the end of the cycle. I think that even at the worst case scenario, it's just a better time to buy. And then instead of moving up next week, we'll move up the following week, right? It's all still going to happen. It's just instead of it happening by this date, it would happen by this date, and we have a lower low first, or a higher low technically first. But I don't have anything else that I want to say. I think I've said it all. I don't feel like this video was that good. I feel like it was more just me talking, but if you guys like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm always surprised. Sometimes it's the videos that I think aren't good that people actually enjoy the most, so curious to see how that goes. Anyways, take care, guys. I'll see you on the next one.